2 Celsius in London, 1 in Cardiff and Belfast, -1 in Edinburgh. That's the BBC News at 3 minutes past 7, and next at 8.
Happy New Year!
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown. When you've got worries, all the noise and the hurry seems to help, I know. Downtown, just listen to the music of the traffic in the city. Linger on the sidewalk where the neon signs are pretty. How can you lose? The lights are much brighter there. You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares. So go downtown. Things will be great when you're downtown. No finer place for sure. Downtown, everything's waiting for you. Downtown. Don't hang around and let your problems surround you. There are movie shows downtown. Maybe you know some little places to go to where they never close. Downtown, just listen to the rhythm of a gentle bossa nova. You'll be dancing with them too before the night is over. Happy again. The lights are much brighter there. You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares. So go downtown, where all the lights are bright. Downtown, waiting for you tonight. Downtown, you're gonna be alright now. Downtown, downtown. And you may find somebody kind to help and understand you. Someone who is just like you and needs a gentle hand to guide them along. So maybe I'll see you there. We can forget all our troubles, forget all our cares. So go downtown. Things will be great when you're downtown. Don't wait a minute more. Downtown, everything's waiting for you. Downtown, downtown.
A very good morning to you and a Happy New Year too. It's 010110. And thanks to Alex Lester for a sterling overnight job. And checking out the roll call here. I've not written their names down. I've got a new form here. The new forms haven't been delivered from the headmaster yet.
All right.
And in charge, Happy New Year to Mr. Andy Worrell.
Happy New Year to you, Johnny.
Happy New Year, mate. And at the controls, Trevor Harris.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, mate.
Squeaky.
And Bobby Pryor is with us this morning.
Hey.
Excuse me, I'm just adjusting the mic.
That's all right. That's all right. Good morning. It's New Year just New Year in Calgary and Albuquerque.
Wow.
It's just turned.
In Calgary?
Calgary and Albuquerque. Yeah.
Right.
See, we didn't miss it.
Nah.
And there's one place hasn't quite made it yet.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's a great place. You been there?
No.
Fantastic.
I was thinking the other one,
Which Albuquerque?
the north one.
Ah.
Oh.
And good morning, Deadly.
Good morning. Anchorage hasn't quite made it yet. Couple of
Nope.
hours to go
Yep.
for
Yeah.
Anchorage. Yeah. Just checking.
Old news in Sydney, mate.
They've moved on. Yes.
So well on with it. We played them, and lead singer, of course, is Van Morrison. And he's announced that the whole thing about him becoming a dad was a complete hoax.
Oh.
Never happened at all.
Oh.
He's sounding somewhat like a politician when he said statements have been made about my personal life purporting to come from me. The comments which appear on my website did not come from me. They are completely and utterly without foundation.
Oh.
Somebody hacked into his website because it's, because it was slow news time and it was on his official website and there's a quote from him. We all believed it.
Wouldn't it be lovely if he was just being mischievous?
What, he did it himself?
Yeah, I'd love the idea.
Well,
of
I don't
Toying
think so,
with us.
because his wife,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Michelle Morrison, wouldn't see the funny side of that one.
She'd want a bit more.
What if she was in on it?
Yeah.
No, okay.
And who is Gigi Lee anyway?
Move on.
Yeah. Anyway, very good morning to you. How are you? We'll try and be gentle with you this morning, or we should be lively because you're still celebrating. You haven't been to bed yet. I don't know which end of people's lives we're talking
Gentle to
here.
start with, I think. Gentle to start with.
Well, you were talking about people that you met on the street.
Yeah.
As I drove through London, hundreds of people. I also noted actually this morning 7 accidents.
Yeah, I saw 3.
You saw
I saw
3?
3 on the way in. Yeah.
Coming into London at this time of the morning, so take care, slippery, icy. But people trying to find their way home. There was a guy on the A2 this morning who was walking along the motorway with no coat on. I was quite worried about him.
Yeah.
So if he could check in with me and let me know he got home all right, that'd be lovely.
And I saw a fella on a bicycle weaving all over the road, holding a torch in one hand, waving it around, saying, I'm here, don't run me over.
So take care, is our advice, yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan Kaner will be joining us live at about 20 to 9.
Good.
And he's been having a look at the old planets, see what maybe this year, new year and new decade might have in store for us. So
I need some good news.
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, let's do that.
Convinces me more when you're in love with a beautiful woman. You watch her eyes, baby, watch your eyes. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you look for life. Everybody tempts her, everybody tells her she's the most beautiful woman they know. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you're going alone. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you watch your friends. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, oh, it never ends.
It's 18 minutes past 7. You're listening to Radio 2 on this first day of January. Bobby Pryor would travel after this.
BBC Radio 2's Elvis season continues.
On Monday, Paul Gambaccini explores the continuing power of Elvis the brand.
I'll be looking at what it was about Elvis that has kept him burning bright in the public memory as Elvis the brand.
Then on Tuesday,
This is Martin Sheen, and I'll be hosting the story of when the king of rock and roll met the president of the United States, a meeting in which Elvis offered his services as a special secret agent.
The fact that these two very unusual men came together is what makes it so intriguing.
Elvis the brand, Monday night from 11:30. And When the King Met the President, Tuesday night from 10:30. BBC Radio 2.
It's 19 minutes past 7. Bobby Pryor with travel news now.
Johnny, thank you. First of all, because of more sleet and snow showers across Scotland, Cumbria and Northumberland, there's a general warning because the police and the Highways Agency are still kind of assessing so many routes and roads. So at the moment, nothing's closed, but that doesn't mean we're without problem. So at Chesterton Street, the A167, we've got extremely hazardous driving conditions. One sheet of ice. This is between Chesterton Street and Red Hills Lane, so you need to give that a miss. The latest on the Snake Pass, the A57. Now, they reopened part of it last night, but at the moment it remains closed between Glossop and the A6101 at Sheffield. The Cat and Fiddle also closed the A537 before between the A54, beg your pardon, and the Buxton New Road. Now, between Market Raisin and Gainsborough, the A631, fallen power cables have closed that road completely at Glentham. Then to London. I was talking about these accidents earlier. There's been so many. The A406 eastbound at Palmer's Green, it's closed completely. The accident is at the A105, which is the Clockhouse interchange. Then to Shepherd's Bush on the A40, there's been an accident on the Westway. It's closed one lane at the northern roundabout. Into the city, or going out of the city, Upper Thames Street eastbound completely closed, the A3211. And if you're coming in that way, it's also extremely slow. You're going to be affected by that as well. And just be aware that in central London today, it is the New Year's parade, so loads more road closures around Piccadilly and also the embankment, so watch for those. I'll keep you updated. And finally, to the A350 south of Warminster, we've got the Bosley Hill at Cannes, complete sheet of ice. There's one lorry stuck there already. Police are there. They're saying please avoid the hill. The A350, you cannot get up Bosley Hill at the moment, or Bosley Hill. And thank you for your updates. Keep those coming. 03700 100 200, and I'll be back in about half an hour.
Hello, honey, it's me. What did you think when you heard me back on the radio? What did the kids say when they knew it was their long-lost daddy? Oh, remember how we listened to the radio, and I said that's the place to be, and how I got the job as an FM jock the day you married me. It was 2 kids and I was into AM rock, but I just had to run around. It's been 8 years since I left you, babe. Let me tell you about what's gone down. I am the morning DJ at WOLD, playing all the hits for you, wherever you may be. The bright good morning voice, who's heard but never seen, feeling all of 45, going on 15. The drinking I did on my last big gig, it made my voice go low. They said that they liked the young sound when they let me go. So I drifted on down to Tulsa, Oklahoma to do me a late night talk show. Now I've worked my way down home again here to Boise, Idaho. That's how this business goes. I am the morning DJ at WOLD, playing all the hits for you, wherever you may be. The bright good morning voice, who's heard but never seen, feeling all of 45, going on 15. but it's never gonna go away. Sometimes I get this crazy dream that I just take off in my car. But you can travel on 10,000 miles and still stay where you are. Thinking that I should stop this jockeying and start that record store. Maybe I could settle down if you take me back once more. Okay, honey, I see. I guess he's better than me. Sure, old girl, I understand. You don't have to worry, I'm such a happy man. I am the morning DJ at WOLD, playing all the hits for you wherever you may be. The bright good morning voice who's heard but never seen, feeling all of 45 going on 15. I am the morning DJ at WOLD.
Very good morning, Johnnie Walker here on Breakfast on Radio 2. And Carol says, good morning and the crew. Happy New Year to you all. Say hi to Carol and Pete. We're attending the flock of sheep in Shaw near Oldham. And Happy New Year, JW. First resolution completed to be with you from 7 today. Very good. Great year ahead. Special mention, please, for daughter Georgie, who's getting married this summer. That's Elspeth. Still in bed, but tuned in. Good morning, Elspeth. Happy New Year, Johnny and Team Walker. I like the sound of that. It's Team Walker. It's a cold and frosty morning in Nottingham, but at least I'm up. Could you play something for my mum? It's her birthday today. I'll be driving up to Sheffield later on to see her, and that's from Helen. So Helen's mum, happy returns to you. And New Year, Johnny, Happy New Year. I'm up for your show. Hope you'll read the message. Wish my family, also Toots and Jakes, a jolly good 2010. And that's D from Trollland. And we got a song from the Kinks here.
Met her in a club down in Old Soho, where you drink champagne and it tastes like Coca-Cola, C-O-L-A Cola. She walked up to me and she asked me to dance. I asked her her name and in a dark brown voice she said Lola, L-O-L-A Lola, Lola. She squeezed me tight,
The Kinks and Lola, 7:30 the time. It's a bank holiday, so no news headlines. Next news on Radio 2, coming up at 8 o'clock. I wonder if this fella's listening in. His name's John Ure. He's age 54, and he runs Britain's loneliest cafe. And it's a cafe he's called Cafe Ozone, because he said the air is just so amazing. It's at the Cape Wrath Lighthouse. And to get there involves a ferry ride and then an 11-mile hike across rugged moorland. No driving to this one. And his missus, Kay, 8 days ago, his wife Kay, set off to Inverness to fetch the Christmas turkey, and she still hasn't got back. It's the snow. The snow only began after she'd left. John Ure said regretfully, it's the first Christmas we've spent apart for 30 years. She's been stuck in Durness all this time. And the weather forecast suggests Mrs. Ure may not return with a Christmas lunch for at least another 2 days. So they've been apart this Christmas. So John and Kate, hope you're reunited soon. I don't know if anybody's going to be interested in a ferry crossing and an 11-mile hike to eat your turkey in the new year. You can email in. It's walker@bbc.co.uk. Text 88291. Text charge at the old standard message rate. And this is Radio 2 at 7:31. That's kind of done all the official business.
All Hit Radio.
All right, you're listening to All Hit Radio, and it's 53 degrees at 13 minutes past the hour. And right now on our All Request line, I've got Mike Ledgerwood on the phone. Hey, babe, what would you like to hear? Hey, babe, I'm sorry, I can't hear you too well. You're going to have to speak a little closer into the phone. Okay, babe, what would you like to hear again?
We are observing your Earth.
Hey, Mike, I'm sorry, babe, but that's not on our playlist. And by the way, you sound great over the phone. Anyway, if you give us your request, we'll be glad to play it for you, babe, so let's hear it.
We are observing your Earth.
Listen, Mike, I'm sorry, babe, but we can't...
And we'd like to make...
I'm sorry, Mike, there's...
a contact with you. Baby.
In your mind you have capacities, you know, to telepath messages through the vast unknown. Please close your eyes and concentrate with every thought you think upon the recitation we're about to sing. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary most extraordinary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary most extraordinary craft. You've been observing our Earth, and we'd like to make a contact with you. We are your friends.
and transmit thought energy far beyond the norm. You close your eyes, you concentrate, together that's the way to send the message we declare World Contact Day.
Apologies for that. I was quite enjoying that song. Meantime, this is the latest from Madness called Forever Young.
There was a time when I was younger, and all the nights and days were long, and every day just getting stronger, like a sunflower in the sun, in the sun. Freshness of your young face, like a candle in the gloom, and the brightness of your smiling eyes, well, they're lighting up the room, the whole room. Well, I have done. Oh, stay gone.
It's Radio 2. A very good morning to you on this first day of January, first day of a new year, first day of a new decade. I wonder what it has in store. Astrologer Jonathan Kaner will give his view at about 20 to 9. Johnny is a text in. Like you, we moved house. We've done so in 6 inches of snow. We now have a house instead of a pile of boxes. Thanks to my wife Kath, who's working today at Southend Hospital, and mother-in-law Pat for their efforts. It's that's the thing, you've got to get into the boxes quick, because if you don't, they're there for months, if not years. I've learned that when you go away on holiday and you come back and you bung your suitcase down and think, I'll unpack that tomorrow, that'll stay for about a week. And the best thing I think is just the moment you get back, unpack the old suitcase. Anyway, we wish you great happiness in your new home. Good new start for a new year for you. Who's up and about? Heather and Major Clanger, they're out there. They're having a brisk walk at Ross-on-Sea, embracing the fresh air and the cold and enjoying it. Meantime, Sandra and Trevor, they're in bed in Elsham in Norfolk. Morning, Johnny and your team. Tea and toast in bed, snowing outside. All is well with the world, and Happy New Year.
Tonight, I want to hold you tight and make sure that you're mine. There is a rumor going round the town that you have put me down. So please wipe off this frown and make sure that you're mine. You said our love was strong and that you'd love me long, but your two-faced friends all say you're out planning to run away. Well, if I find out this is true, I don't want to be with you. So you see why I have to make sure that you're mine. See why I have to make sure that you're mine. Oh yeah, make sure that you're mine. Oh little girl, I'm gonna make sure that
you're mine. BBC Radio 2's Great British Songbook.
The songs that inspired a nation.
Throughout this week, top artists and presenters have been playing a decade a day of great British songs. And now, it's our turn.
I'm Alan Carr, and with Nadine Coyle, we bring you the Great British Songbook of the Noughties.
Join us for the decade's best tracks, and we'll share our memories of the last 10 years.
BBC Radio 2's Great British Songbook of the Noughties, today from 2.
BBC Radio 2. BBC Radio 2.
And Bobby Pryor has travel news.
Thank you. First of all the snow and ice across Scotland and Cumbria and Northumberland continues to cause problems. Now, luckily, this morning, I'm hoping that everyone's going to stay in bed till lunchtime. Pretty miserable on the A68 at Carter Bar. It's closed because of the snow just at the junction with the A60-88. Of course, all your mountain routes badly affected. The A167 at Chester Street, you've got difficult conditions. Police are saying it's not closed, but if you don't have to, then please don't on the A167 between Chester Street and Red Hills Lane. The Snake Pass, the A57, remains closed between Sheffield, the A6101 route to Gloucester. The Cat and Fiddle's closed, the A537 between the A54 and Buxton New Road. Now, between Market Raisin and Gainsborough, the A631 is completely closed. We've got fallen power cables at Glentham. To the A14 at Ipswich, now through the night we've had hazardous driving conditions. There's been a number of accidents between junctions 54, which is a Sproughton Road, to junction 44, which is the Bury Eastern Interchange. Now, the police Police are saying it's still hazardous between Ipswich and Bury, so just be aware this morning. To the North Circular, the A406 eastbound completely closed at Palmer's Green, accident at the A105. To Shepherd's Bush on the Westway, the A40, there's still a lane closed. This is heading into town. Also, there was one earlier heading out of town, so just approach with care. To the City, Upper Thames Street eastbound is closed, so heading out on the A3211. There's an accident there. It'll affect you coming into town as well. A reminder that if you are coming into London today, it is the New Year's Day parade, so lots more road closures around from the City all the way into Trafalgar Square. And finally, the A350 south of Warminster. In Cannes, Bosley Hill, complete sheet of ice. There's already one lorry stuck there, and police are saying please avoid the area if you can. Luckily, it's not too busy this morning. And keep those updates coming. I'll be back in about 30 minutes.
Thank you very much. Just trying to find a text. Somebody said we've had the noughties, now we've got the teenies. I don't know whether that's quite a good description of
2012, 13. Not yet, no.
No.
Not until 2013, really.
Yeah.
Then it'll be the teenies.
See that idea that some think tank says drunk should pay 500 quid for the hospital stay? Ooh. If you get hammered and then you need the use of the NHS staff.
Should you get it free or not?
But I'm nodding my head again. That's a good idea. So if I go ride a pony and fall off, where does that leave me?
You'll pay up.
Same
Let's
thing?
have your money.
Okay.
No,
that's it, isn't it?
It's more of an accident, isn't it?
You see, it's all my way of having fun.
Not quite the same thing. People who go out to get hammered go out to get hammered.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you know there's a chance.
You go riding on your pony, you don't go out to fall off, do you?
No, but they try and make it happen.
Anyway. Horses, they've got it in for you. They've got it in for you. Yeah, I think there's a difference there, yeah.
Here's a guy who bought a clifftop house. It's at Night Point near Scarborough. 2 years ago, worth more than £160,000. And he got it for $3,000.
Now, isn't Scarborough where they're right on the cliff edge there, and sometimes things happen?
So his wife was a bit miffed to find a £3,000 payment on the credit card just before Christmas, but he's got himself a house, and it's an ongoing art project.
Oh, right.
So he's going to paint it and film it as it slowly moves towards. He said the house. A lot of people have already moved out.
Yeah.
House next door, he says, has developed cracks. But I think, I don't know how long that'll last for, maybe a year.
It'll see him out.
$3,000
That's
for
not
a
bad
year's
for $3,000.
Yeah, I agree.
Beautiful view of the sea.
Yeah. It's lovely Scarborough, though, isn't it? It's a nice part of the world. It's like an original sort of seaside resort.
Do you know what I have
British
to say? I'm looking at you
resort.
blankly, because I've never been. No.
Oh, you must. It's fabulous.
I've never been.
Yeah. Tesco have got Easter eggs on the shelves.
No!
Well done.
Tell you what was new as well last night when I looked out at around midnight, because I thought I can't sleep through this. It's these lanterns, Chinese lanterns flying across the sky.
Yeah.
Aren't they fab?
Oh, they're
I've seen
fantastic.
them before.
Yeah.
And they look really good. I thought, what are all those planes doing coming towards my flat?
We're not going to Thailand anymore. We're just bringing back just getting the lanterns, I think.
Yeah, they looked really good.
I let one off in Cornwall on a camping holiday, and there was a couple there at the campsite. They were just kind of lying down. I think they'd done a bottle of wine between them.
Yeah.
And, they were just enjoying being out. A beautiful starry sky.
Yeah.
And slowly drifting past goes the old Chinese magic lantern. We sent one off for Tig's birthday the other day.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Do you send them off with a wish? Is it a message for the
good
gods?
Send a little wish. And
More
unfortunately,
forever,
it was kind of going up the street, and there are one or two thatched cottages there.
Oh, no!
We started to panic just a little bit, because we'd only just moved in.
Yeah.
Not really a way to endear yourself to the neighbours, set their house on fire.
I remember that couple. Yeah, we chased them away.
But fortunately, suddenly there was a little bit of uplift, and up it went.
Brilliant. Well, these were really flying high last night. It's very good.
No, it's best if there's no wind at all and a really clear sky, and they're wonderful to watch. The world first discovered them, I think, rather a sad reason, but people who died during the tsunami, they set off a lantern for each one of them. So the sky was full of them.
Yeah, well...
but they do have a definite magical quality.
Yeah, they do. They look really good. I was very impressed, I have to say.
Yeah. Hello, there's somebody's stomach's rumbling. Who is
Not
that?
me.
Did you hear that?
That was the prior stomach.
That was mine.
Is that yours?
I thought I could get away with it, but that was my tummy rumbling.
Get the girls
Somebody
some
feed
food.
me.
I sit here by myself and you know I love it. You know I don't want someone to compare me with. I wanna be by myself. I came in this world alone. Me, myself, I wanna go to
Radio 2, a very good morning to you.
Is this a game you play? I don't understand what's going on. I can't see through your frown. First you're up, then you're down. You're keeping me from someone I want to know. But I need you tonight. Need you tonight. Yes, I need you tonight. Need you tonight. And I'll show you a sunset if you'll stay with me till dawn. It's the same old situation. Every word's so finely placed. Running around my concentration is the feeling that I've just got to break out and say, oh, I need you tonight. Need you tonight. Yes, I need you tonight. Need you tonight. And I'll show you a sunset if you'll stay with me till Is this a game you play? Playing with my heart. Stop playing with my heart. And I'll show you a sunset if you'll stay with me till dawn. Yes, I'll show you a sunset if you'll stay with me till
Now it's Radio 2 on this New Year's Day. Richard Allenson sits in for Ken Bruce at 9:30 today. Special programme at midday. Patrick Kilty talking about New Year's resolutions. 2 o'clock, the Great British Songbook of the Noughties with Alan Carr and Nadine Coyle. And 5 o'clock, Bob Harris in On Drive Time. Don't stop me talking about Elvis. The Elvis season continuing. With people talking about Elvis in their own words. That's at 7. And then a really special show at 7:30 tonight. Madeline Bell, Leanne Carroll and Kim Mazzell, hosted by Michael Brandon along with the BBC Concert Orchestra. They celebrate the songs of Ella Fitzgerald, Aretha Franklin and Dusty Springfield. Special Friday night is music night at 7:30. It's all here on BBC Radio 2, online on digital and on 88 to 91 FM.
Now the BBC News at 8 o'clock. This is Alan Dedicoat. Gordon Brown has described the failed attempt to blow up an American airliner on Christmas Day as another wake-up call in the fight against terrorism. Writing on the Downing Street website, Mr. Brown said new security measures would be brought in quickly. Here's our political correspondent, Ben Wright.
The new decade is starting as the last began, with Al-Qaeda creating a climate of fear. That, writes the Prime Minister, is why there can be no complacency in dealing with it. The failed Detroit attack, he says, shows that international terrorism remains a very real threat. He says countries must urgently tighten the ways they share information on suspected terrorists to stop their movements, and a review into procedures is now being carried out that will report in the next few days. New physical security measures also seem inevitable.
A former close friend of the man accused of trying to blow up the American jet has said he believes the suspect was radicalised after leaving London in 2008. Kazim Rafiq told BBC News that the man had never shown signs of violent extremism whilst living in Britain. Charges against 5 US security guards relating to the killing of 17 Iraqis in 2007 have been dismissed by a US judge. The guards from the Blackwater firm were accused of opening fire on a crowd in Baghdad. The Americans have revealed that the bomber who killed intelligence agents in Afghanistan had been invited into the secret base. The attack inflicted the worst loss suffered by the CIA since the invasion 8 years ago. Peter Grester reports from Kabul.
From the moment the suicide bomber detonated his explosive belt in the CIA base in Host Province, questions have been raised about how he managed to make it through security. It now seems he was invited in. Intelligence sources familiar with the investigation say CIA agents working from Forward Operating Base Dixon had been courting the man who eventually killed them as a potential informant. As such, they say, he was allowed onto the base without a proper body search. The attack killed 7 agents, including the chief of the base, a mother of 3.
From today, anyone buying a home worth more than £125,000 will have to pay 1% of the value in tax. The suspension of the duty introduced to stimulate the property market has been ended. Health service managers say spending on treating the results of excessive drinking have doubled since 2001. They describe the NHS as struggling to cope with alcohol problems. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Rowan Williams, has urged people to respond to those in need in distant countries as if they were close family members. In his New Year's message, he says the last decade had shown that crises don't stop at national frontiers. And the weather forecast, cold and frosty today. Wintry showers across northern and eastern Scotland and northern England. Long spells of sunshine everywhere else, but wintry showers may develop in some western parts from midday on. A very cold day then with light winds. Top temperatures 2 Celsius in London, 1 in Cardiff and Belfast, -1 in Edinburgh. And that's the BBC News at 3 minutes past 8, and next at 9.
88 to 91 FM. BBC Radio 2.
I am the morning, you are the light. You make the morning such a beautiful thing.
I am the green grass and you are the rain.
Fall on me, make me grow. No one will ever know. Fall on me, make me grow again. I am the spirit, you are the light. You make the sunshine brighter, you make me smile.
I am the water and you are the road.
Oh, lady of the land, come to me, take my hand. Until tomorrow, I'm your man. Step back inside me, Romeo, she said. Step back inside me, take me to your bed. Step back inside me, Romeo. My Juliet, take me home. I am the darkness, you are the night. You make the darkness such a beautiful thing.
I am the mountain, you are the snow.
Fall on me, make me grow. No one will ever know. Fall on me, make me grow again. Step
waves come higher, high as we sway and dance. And the way I feel makes me want to take a chance. Sing a song of Tama Harbor, climb a coconut tree, catch a fish and light a fire, drink some wine with me. And if you say you like me, and I like you, we can live and dream together in a world that's new. Sunshine, sunshine. Sunshine, sunshine. In the treehouse here we lay, above the blue sea spray. Tide rolls in and on the wind, guitars begin to play. And the waves come higher, high as we sway and dance. And the way I feel makes me want to take a chance. Sing a song of Tama Harbor, climb a coconut tree, catch a fish and light a fire, drink some wine with me. And if you say you like me, and I like you, we can live and dream together in a world that's new. Sunshine, sunshine. Sunshine, sunshine. Sing a song of Tama Harbor, climb a coconut tree, catch a fish and light a fire, drink some wine with me. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
Very good morning to you. As if you need telling, it's the first day of January. A new year, a new decade, and a happy new year to everyone in Las Vegas and Los Angeles, San Francisco, and all of those on Californian time who just 8 minutes in to their new year. Wriggles the trucker, he's working today. New Year's Eve happening for Pearl and I tonight. And also Ruth is up. She said, I don't know why I'm up at this time. The old body clock seems to have got me up. So morning, Ruth. Happy New Year. And David Gilder's up at Newton Farmhouse too. Cooking for anybody? Anybody staying in the old B&B tonight? Is everything going to be closed today? Do people in retail get a day off? I think a lot of shops closed, perhaps. Or are they all going to be open? They deserve a day off. They've been working hard. And journalists, you know, much maligned breed, really, along with the state agents, politicians and all that sort of thing. But you know, people just want to go out and they want to buy their newspaper, you know, all over the Christmas and New Year period. So Happy New Year to all those working in the newspaper business.
Not my brand, you understand. Sometimes the girl forgets. She forgets to hide them. I know who left those smokes behind. She'll say, oh, he's just a friend. And I'll say, oh, I'm not blind to him. What's she gonna do about him? just exactly how we once were. It's goodbye to he and I, back to me and her. Without him, what is she gonna do about him? She's gonna have to do without him, or do without me. No one gets to get it for free. Time for me to make the girl see it's me or it's him. What is she gonna do about him? She's gonna have to do without.
And a very happy new year and grateful thanks to Jam U. Thanks, mate. From the Bead Canteen. He's had the old anorak on, protect himself from the cold. It is bitter this morning, so if you're going out, wrap up warm. It's a cold one. Anyway, staggered over with a bit of nosh from the old canteen, which is very good of him. Me and the boys, Ethan and Charlie, enjoying seat dancing to Nina Simone while having breakfast. All the while the husband and the in-laws having a lie-in upstairs. That's Lucy in North Lincolnshire. Happy new one, Lucy. And best wishes to you from Linda Cassidy from Worthing. Thank you, Linda. Text, the number is 88291, charge at your standard message rate, and emails still free, and that's walker@bbc.co.uk. And there's two in a row from Coldplay.
Next the walls were closed on me, and I discovered that my
sound of drums. People couldn't believe what I'd become. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver plate, just a puppet on a lonely string. Oh, who would ever want to be king? I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name, never an honest word, but that was when I ruled the world. Hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name, never an honest word, but that was when I ruled the world.
Sun kind of just coming up here. I know it's a bit late, but there's tall buildings around and we're on the 6th floor. Look at that sky, Deadly.
Brilliant, isn't it? Lovely.
Gorgeous, fantastic. That's Coldplay, Viva La Vida, and before the opening track of the album called Life in Technicolor. And this is Radio 2, it's 8:19. We're going to travel with Bobby coming up.
New for 2010.
Dig that cat! He's
Mark Lamar.
Mark Lamar returns with more rock and roll rarities.
Meanwhile, back in the States.
What I like to do early on is try and fool new listeners into thinking that it is a best of the 50s type show, which it isn't at all.
Mark Lamar's Shake, Rattle and Roll.
Shake, Rattle and Roll returns with all the best 50s records that you possibly haven't heard before.
Monday nights from 10:30 on 88 and 91 FM, BBC Radio 2.
BBC Radio 2.
Bobby Pryor, how's travel?
Thank you, Johnny. Well, icy conditions, extremely cold. There was more snow overnight as well. Luckily, it's a very quiet morning, so I'm hoping it's not going to cause you too much problems. So first of all, to Dundee, though, the A92, Green Dykes Road, that's been closed. There's an accident at the A930. To Carter Bar on the A68, that's closed because of the snow, just near to the A60-88 junction, obviously closed both ways. To Berwick-on-Tweed, getting reports on the A1, partially blocked by an accident between Craigmill Road and the A1167. Also, we've got reports of snow as well, so lots and lots of snowy routes just to watch out for. So ice, expect snow, don't expect any route to be open if you're heading over the mountains at all. To Chesterless Street, the A167, we've got hazardous driving conditions between Chesterless Street and Red Hills Lane. The latest on the Snake Pass, the A57 remains closed between Glossop and the A6101. Same with the Cat and Fiddle, the A537 route, that's closed between the A54 and the Buxton New Road. Between Market Raisin and Gainsborough, the A631, the power cables came down, so they've closed the road completely. A14, there were a number of accidents last night, and there's hazardous driving conditions still between junctions 44, which is the Bury turn, and junctions 54, which is the Sproughton Road. So between Ipswich and Bury, I say, just watch out for the ice. Same with the A131 at Braintree, just had calls. It's like an ice rink, especially, so just take care. The A406 in North London, eastbound Palmer's Green, still closed with the accident at the A105. To Shepherd's Bush on the Westway, the A40, the accident's now gone at the northern roundabout. There were two there this morning. They've now both been cleared. To the City in London, Upper Thames Street, the A3211, the accident that closed the eastbound route has now been cleared. It was causing problems both ways. Just a reminder, if you're coming into London today, it is the New Year's Day parade, so all around Trafalgar Square and Piccadilly you're going to find closures. And finally, to south of Warminster on the A350 at Cannes, Bosley Hill has now been closed because it's an ice rink. There's already one lorry that's stuck on the hill. Thank you for your updates, and I'll be back in about 30 minutes, Johnny.
A lot of accidents.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, caught people by surprise, I think.
Yeah.
What was I just reading here? They reckon Some places, minus 16, actually colder than Alaska.
Oh.
Britain's icy grip fails to stop the revellers.
Well, yeah, they were out there because I was driving in at
I'm
5
a reveller
o'clock.
and I'm all right.
Exactly. Revel,
I'll drink
go and revel.
all day, I'd a party all night. It's quite a nice word, that, revellers, isn't it?
Yeah, go and revel.
Yeah. Write a song about the revellers. HAW, I thought I'd text you early whilst it's quiet. I put me Togs calendar up last night and there's a picture of you flat out with Pudsey Bear. What's that all about? Was that taken last New Year's Eve? This is Paul hanging his Togs calendar on New Year's Eve. He knew how sad I lived, didn't he?
Yes, exactly.
A wild time.
Well, I've done mine already in my little studio. I've changed the diary over. It's good. I've got to do it.
Was that a big event in your house?
Yeah. No, it's in my little studio.
In his
Not
little
my house.
In his little cubicle.
My little cubicle. I've changed it already.
Well, how exciting.
Somebody's got to. Somebody remembered, you know.
Anyway, they come round and take the Togs pictures in July.
Yes, they do.
So I can't remember what I was doing there.
No, I can't. I'm going to look at that because I've got one in there as well.
I just thought I'd be different, I guess.
Yeah.
You try and be different. What happened to that craze that everybody's lying face down in unusual places?
Oh, yes.
That didn't last long, did it?
We did it, didn't we? Up there on that shelf over there, you can
Yeah.
see it on the radio. If you've got a digital radio, you can see where I'm pointing.
Hey, I had a lovely day yesterday. I thought, what we'll do, me and the Tigster, is we'll have an evening during the day. So instead of going out to supper or dinner, we went out and had a nice lunch at the Townhouse.
Excellent.
It's a new hotel and restaurant in Dean Street. I'll take you there for breakfast one morning.
Okay, you're on, yeah.
I do. It's a lovely place.
You heard that, producer?
Yeah,
Witness.
you didn't say today.
We'll all
did
go
you?
for breakfast, yeah.
Witness.
Yeah.
Had a nice relaxed lunch there.
Did it work?
And we could go Friday of next week. Maybe.
Possibly.
And then we went off to a matinee of the Mousetrap. Because we were walking by there one day. I said, have you seen that? She goes, no. I said, I haven't either. It's time we went. So I went to see something like the 26,638 performance.
Have they got it right yet?
Of the Mousetrap. And save you going, I'll tell you the ending in a minute.
No.
In the programme it said that when the Mousetrap opened on the 25th of November in 1952, Sir Winston Churchill was Prime Minister, Harry S. Truman was President of the USA, and Stalin was head of Russia. And me yesterday hinting that 1948 food rationing was over.
Yeah.
Completely wrong. Still going on in 1952. Meat, bacon, sugar, cheese, butter and margarine were still rationed.
Wow.
And every man and woman in the country had to have an identity card.
Are we thinking of
So
having
it's
them?
come round again,
Yes.
isn't it?
Wait long enough, they do. I wasn't even born then.
Me neither.
Can you imagine saying to people, though, OK, now meat, bacon, sugar, cheese, butter and margarine, all going to be rationed. Here's your coupons, you can only have so much.
Oh, no.
You've got to make it last. That would be a new thing, wouldn't it?
Well, you'd have to do what they did in Dad's army. Cheat a bit.
How do they do that?
Well, you had to do favours for people, didn't you?
I see. For a ration.
Jack Jones, family butcher, we should see you all right. Old Jonesy.
Yeah.
We'd have been all right.
Did there used to be secret kind of cow and goat keeping, so people would be doing butter moonshine and making their own butter and cheese,
Well, I suppose
and flogging it down the street?
Bit of that must have gone on, wasn't it? Bit of that.
Now, what's ahead for us in the next decade or in the next year, even? Astrologer Jonathan Kaner gives his view coming up in about 10 minutes' time.
Goodbye, my friend. Take it all with you. You're going. We've reached the end. There's no use in trying to slow it. In your eyes, I can see no pride. Just a promise that's broken. Goodbye, my friend, are the cruelest words I've spoken. Where the river meets the ocean, this is where you'll find me. Like an island, all alone, I will set you free. Goodbye, my friend. May the bad times never find you. And at your journey's end, you can leave the past behind you. Will your spirit still haunt me? Will it leave me never? Goodbye, my friend. They say nothing lasts forever. ocean, this is where you find me. Like an island, all alone, I will set you free. Where the river meets the ocean, this is where you find me. Like an island, all alone, I will set you free. Too late to talk about the reasons why, too blind to see. There's nothing I can say to change your mind and make you stay with me tonight. This is where you find me. Like an island, all alone, I will set you free. Where the river meets the ocean, this is where you find me. Like an island, all alone, I will set you free. Set you free. Stay with me.
Marie reports from Hastings, snowing hard there, and also some unexpected snow now falling on Downham Market and Norfolk. So says Steve and Chris by email. Happy New Year to you, and a very happy New Year to Jeremy Vine, who's got the day off today. Patrick Kilty will be in between midday and 2, as Jeremy has a family day and is taking the children off ice skating this morning. Probably be in on crutches tomorrow.
Marissa Jones, you watched the black seats walking past. Your life was empty for a while. Michael Porter has a new girl in his arms. She has a cherry-flavoured smile. You watch as he greets her, his arms around her shoulder. He'll try to believe that it's you when he kissed you. Those delicate shoes used to walk you straight to the moon. Now he wonders why he never stayed.
Ledra Chapman, and that's called Story. 8:31 the time, no headlines today, as it's a bank holiday. And Happy New Year to all North Yorkshire newsagents sliding through the snow. Tuned in on the radio, says Chris March, getting the newspapers through. Some are travelling, some still in bed, but we got Karen, Sean and Daniel. They're on the road back to South Wales after spending a day with Dad in Scotland. And Johnny, say hi to all the hold on, don't do that. Say hi to all the AA and RAC patrols that are out and working today, as we give cover 365 days a year. That's from Ray Marshall. Morning, Ray, AA patrol guy in Wisbech in Cambridgeshire.
Hello, yeah, it's been a while. Not much. How about you? I'm not sure why I called. I guess I really just wanted to talk to you. And I was thinking maybe later on we could get together for a while. It's been such a long time and I really do miss your smile. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life, but there's a warm wind blowing the stars around, and I'd really love to see you tonight. We could go walking through Windy Park, take a drive along the beach, or stay at home and watch TV. You see, it really doesn't matter much to me. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life, but there's a warm wind blowing the stars around, and I'd really love to see you tonight. I won't ask for promises, so you don't have to lie. We both played that game before. Say I love you, then say goodbye. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life, but there's a warm wind blowing the stars around, and I'd really love to see you tonight. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life, but there's a warm wind blowing the stars around, and I'd really love to see you tonight. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life.
And I mentioned those on the road. We got Alan Jen, though, in Cheshire, having a cup of tea in bed, as lots are this morning. Very happy New Year to all those. Cosy and warm in bed. Tea and toast. Great way to start a new year. We got Kath Waits here, wanting to pass on good wishes and a happy new year to all of her family. And a big one, too. We got Mam, Laurie, Joe, Aggie, Tam, Kathy, Joe, Paul, Steve, too. So maybe there's two Steves. And all my friends and families. That's from Kath. And Jonathan Kaner is having his tea and toast somewhere in Yorkshire, I think. And we'll find out his thoughts about what's in store from a planetary point of view for the new year.
heard love story. Meet another man who thought that he was oh so strong. I've been thinking about you, girl, all night long. Sad, sweet dreamer, it's just one of those things you put down to experience. Sad, sweet dreamer, it's just one of those things you put down to experience. Sad, sweet dreamer, it's just one of those things you put down to experience.
Radio 2, Johnnie Walker on Breakfast. And I was thinking yesterday, well, you know, and not only a new year, a brand new decade. I wonder what could be in store for us. So much happened in the last decade. Who could we find out from? Who'd have an idea? And I thought, the man to get in touch with is Jonathan Kaner. And he's on the line now from his home. Is it still Yorkshire, Jonathan?
Well, it was Yorkshire when I went to bed last night.
Did you have a good time seeing it in?
Well, if the honest truth be told, when I agreed to come on this morning, what I forgot was that my teenagers, and I've got 3 teenagers, said to me, Dad, can we have a few friends over? And, of course, a few friends multiplied, as they do on New Year's Eve. So when I went to bed finally at 2:45 in the morning, with the endless boom, boom, boom from the stereo going through the house, I began to think, will I be up? And when I got up, the teenagers were still at it.
So it kind of makes you feel old, that, doesn't it, really? The stamina they have.
I only stayed up that late because I was feeling a bit parentally obliged to oversee things, if you see what I mean.
So listen, a new year, a new decade. Is it a fair question to someone such as yourself? Can you be that general, looking at planetary movements in the year and decade ahead?
Well, let's hope so, because I've just written a big feature about it. In fact, that's what I spent my New Year's Eve doing. The answer is yes, you can, particularly when, I've had a really close look at the whole decade. It's the first time I've ever done it, and it's quite revealing, really, because we've got some powerful planetary trends which are new and which begin now or very soon, and which last for a whole of the next 10 years or a bit longer, and they're impressive.
I mean, when you think of what happened over the last 10 years,
yes,
watching Star Trek and seeing these people, pull a little box from the back of their belt and flick it open and talk to anybody anywhere, and that's science fiction stuff. And now we're doing it. So are you likely to see that kind of technological advance accelerated over the next 10 years?
When I woke up this morning, one of the teenagers actually was saying to another teenager, sum up the decade in a word. What do you think the noughties were? And then he'd obviously got his answer ready. He said, it's technology. He said, that's what it's been. It's just been so rapid. And as I was making me coffee, I just said, I'm not so sure that's true, because I remember the 90s were technology crazy too. I think, and I gave it a bit of thought and decided actually, in a way, what the noughties were was insecure. We keep seeing technology multiplying, and we're going to keep seeing it, and I dread to think what's in store. The telephones have stopped getting smaller, they've started getting larger. I do think that we could be on the fringe of amazing scientific breakthroughs. It'd be a bit surprising if we weren't. But what's much more of interest to me is, what are human beings going to do, and are we going to start evolving as fast as technology?
Well, that was going to be my next question.
Sorry.
Because, we often hear we use 8 to 10% of our brain power. You get flashes of intuition. People get psychic flashes of something happening in the future. So there's obviously great untapped human potential that maybe it's time we started realising and advancing with over the next decade.
Yeah, I think that what's gone on is that we've suddenly become able to do all these incredible things and to lead these amazing lives. We've got the internet, which we didn't have. Back in 2000, you dialed up for an internet connection if you had one at all. Now everybody's Googling, but although we are so modernised in one way, we're still thinking 20th century thoughts and following 20th century ideals, and perhaps most crucially, being restricted by 20th century limits. So we think, there's things we won't ever change, there's things we're always going to have to put up with. But I'm with you on the intuitive thing. I think that probably the next big breakthrough, I hope we're going to see, is the psychic equivalent of the internet, the moment when people actually realise, no, you can actually be connected telepathically. And I think also, here's a new idea which should take off on that, would be that we are all connected to each other. We all live on the same planet. We're all on the same spaceship. The view from our window of spaceship Earth is the same. And to some extent, you can even argue that we're all one organism, and that we are effectively like leaves on a tree, connected but separate, and that there are ways in which we can all tap into the same reserves of wisdom, if only we know how.
And what about a visitation of other peoples from other planets? Isn't it time? You know, I mean, many people have said, well, they're already here, they're already amongst us, they've been visiting for years. It's an important time for planet Earth, so they're here to observe and maybe help. But that would be the greatest unifying thing, as long as they came in peace, obviously, for the entire peoples of the planet, would it not?
Johnnie Walker, only you would ask me a question like that. I've done so many interviews over the last few days, and it's the first time anyone said, and what about the aliens? And it puts me on the spot slightly because, well, you and I have talked to each other quite a bit over the years, and I've got views which some people would call a bit woo-woo, and I do my best to hide them. I do think that there is life out there, and intelligent life at that. I'm not sure we're ready for it, and I think the decade's going to have to evolve quite a bit before we are. But I wouldn't be too surprised if we found deeper and stronger connections, if we actually all became... There may be people amongst us who are in touch already, but I think it's possible. It's definitely possible. And certainly it says something about how we are evolving as people if we're getting ready to accept something like that. Will they come in peace? Yeah, no, we're the warmongers. We're the ones who can't resist finding fault with each other and picking fights. I'm not at all sure it's like that in the rest of the universe.
Okay, and talking of that then, is there any sign that might be on the wane on planet Earth in the year to come?
Well, peace?
Yeah.
I'd love to say that. And once upon a time, I would have ignored every astrological indication to the contrary and said, yes, peace on Earth's just round the corner. But I am getting older, and I am aware that there is so much money to be made from conflict that it is unlikely, in the short term at least, that any of that's going to change. And there are intense astrological alignments right now through the course of 2010 in particular, and then again at the end of a decade, which lead me to suspect that the world isn't going to get much better in that respect, but nor is it going to get any worse.
Okay, now where are you on climate change? Because those who might say, whether you argue that it is going on or there is global warming, there isn't global warming, can the peoples of this planet do anything about it? Or will what's going to happen with planet Earth happen regardless?
It is very difficult to talk seriously about climate change when it's so blooming cold. It's, as you were saying earlier this morning, it's nippy out there. What I feel is that we are all organisms, or we're all one organism. We are all of us a part of planet Earth. Some say that planet Earth itself will make the adjustment, and that makes more sense if you think of the human beings who live on planet Earth as being part of that adjustment. I think it's fair to say that it does us no harm to become more conscious of the consequences of our actions, that the awakening of the need for recycling, for cutting CO2 emissions, for generally being aware of what on earth we're doing to this planet has got to be a good thing. And as long as it doesn't turn into a religious witch hunt fervour of, that person's got their lights on, quick, let's lynch them, I think we'll be okay. Actually, I think more than that. I think that the Earth will make its adjustments, we will make our adjustments, and we will be okay, but only because we're waking up in time.
All right, well listen, thank you very much. for joining us after very little sleep. Is there anything we've not covered that, a point that you're itching to get out? Or
Oh, bless. Thank you. Yeah, there is. There is just one thing. We've got to talk about the Mayan calendar in 2012 and that whole business of, what that means, the end of the long count calendar, and all the people are talking about alignments that are so rare between the galactic centre, and whether the Earth's going to tilt on its axis, or the sunspots are going to explode, or a new planet called Nibiru is going to appear from somewhere and throw the whole of everything out of kilter. And just very briefly, we have a long, rather magical decade ahead of us. I do think there's going to be awakenings of consciousness. I do think the world's going to become a brighter place, and I really think the most healthy thing we could all do is stop worrying and actually start embracing the idea that we have a future that's worth living for and working for.
Can't top that. That's a lovely way to end. Thank you very much indeed.
It's lovely to talk to you again.
Thank you, Jonathan.
I've been searching for a pot of gold, like the kind you find
Aretha, Dusty. Their songs are legendary. Their music spans generations. Tonight, Michael Brandon hosts a very special Friday Night is Music Night, featuring the songs of Ella Fitzgerald, Aretha Franklin, and Dusty Springfield.
Madeline Bell, Leanne Carroll, and Kim Mazel perform some of their legendary music, accompanied by the Guy Barker Big Band and the BBC Concert Orchestra. I'm Michael Brandon. Join me as I present the special recording of Friday Night is Music Night.
Ella, Aretha, Dusty, and me. This evening from 7:30.
BBC Radio 2.
BBC Radio 2.
6 minutes to 9, travel. Here's Bobby.
Johnny, thank you. First of all, to the A9 southbound, it's been closed between the A96 in Inverness and the Daviot turn, the B851. There's a number of cars that got stuck in the snow, so they're trying to rescue those. Please don't even make an attempt. Also on Dundee, the A92, the Green Dykes Road is closed because of an accident and snow at the A930 junction. To Carter Bar, the A68, that's closed because of the snow on the A6088 junction. And then we've got the Berwick-on-Tweed problem on the A1, partially blocked between Craigmill Road and the 1167. That's the North Road junction. There's an accident there, very icy and slippery conditions. Then on the A1 north of Addiston at Mowsham, it's been closed. The snow is just too thick then, hazardous driving conditions. There's already one broken down lorry stuck in the ice. And then to Chesterless Street, the A167, again, hazardous driving conditions. Don't go unless you have to between Chesterless Street and Red Hills Lane. They are going to grit it later. To Snake Pass continues to be shut between the Glossop and the A6101, that's the A57. The A537 Cat and Fiddle closed between the A54 and Buxton New Road. We've got problems on the A14 between Ipswich and Bury St Edmunds. So between junctions 54 and 44, several accidents last night. It's very icy today. And to bring you up to date on the 406 North London eastbound, the North Circular is closed at Palmer's Green following an accident at the A105. And finally, down to south of Warminster, the A350 Bosley Hills closed. It's just a sheet of ice. You're going to have to find your own way around that. Thanks for your updates. I'll be back later in about an hour's time.
Okay, many thanks indeed for all your travel reports, and have yourself a good day.
Yeah, lovely day today. I'm here.
And Deadly?
Yeah, I will too, thank you.
Yeah, are you off now? Finished? One more news?
No, two more. Probably three more. Because Fran was here quite late last night.
Do you want me to help you?
I've decided to help out by staying a bit longer myself.
What a good lad.
Just all heart, aren't you?
If you believe that, you'll believe it. No, anything for an easy time. So yeah, I'll be around for a little while yet, John.
All right. Anyway, have a great first day of the year.
Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight. My motto's always been when it's right, why wait until the middle of a cold dark night, when everything's a little clearer in the light of day, and we know the night is always gonna be here anyway.
Thinking of you's working up my appetite, looking forward to a little afternoon delight. Rubbing sticks and stones together make the sparks ignite, and the thought of loving you is getting so exciting. Sky rockets in flight, afternoon delight. Afternoon delight. Afternoon delight.
Started out this morning feeling so polite. I always thought a fish could not be caught who didn't bite, but you got some beta waiting and I think I might like Neverland, a little afternoon delight. Sky rockets in flight, afternoon delight. Afternoon delight. Afternoon delight. Be waiting for me, baby, when I come around. We can make a lot of loving before the sun gone down. Thinking of you's working up my appetite, looking forward to a little afternoon delight. Rubbing
sticks and stones together make a spark to ignite, and the thought of loving you is getting so exciting. Skyrockets in flight, afternoon delight, afternoon delight, afternoon delight, afternoon delight, afternoon delight.
This is BBC Radio 2 online on digital and on 88 to 91 FM.
And now the BBC News at 9 o'clock. This is Alan Dedicote. Gordon Brown has ordered a review of airport security, which will report within days. In a message on the Downing Street website, he says the government will consider introducing full-body scanners at UK airports. He called the attempted bombing of an aeroplane in Detroit on Christmas Day a wake-up call in the fight against terror. Our political correspondent Gary O'Donoghue is following the story.
The difficulty with the explosives that Abdul Muttalib was carrying is that they weren't detected on, or weren't detectable on the normal scanners, and these full body scanners are supposed to be able to detect this kind of thing. He's also looking at other techniques such as more advanced ways of detecting traces of explosives on people's hands.
A former friend of the man accused of the attack in Detroit has said he believes that Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib was radicalised after he left London in 2008. Kazim Rafiq said he knew him for 3 years and that his friend was gentle, humble and religious. An American judge has thrown out all charges against 5 US security guards over the killing of 17 Iraqis in 2007. The guards from the Blackwater firm were accused of opening fire on a crowd in Baghdad, but the judge said the US Justice Department, who were prosecuting, used evidence that wasn't acceptable. The suspension of stamp duty on homes worth less than £175,000 has ended. It means buyers will, once again, have to pay 1% tax on the value of properties worth more than £125,000. Here's Ian Pollock.
The temporary lifting of stamp duty on some homes helped the moribund property market revive in the past year, although the main factor was probably the record low level of interest rates. Monthly home sales in the UK nosedived to just 41,000 in January 2009, but they've been rising steadily ever since and are now running at more than twice that level. The Council of Mortgage Lenders calculated recently that more than a quarter of all sales escaped the tax in the past year as a result of the government's policy.
Government figures show that more than 400,000 trained teachers under the age of 60 aren't working in schools. The Conservatives, who obtained the figures, said the data showed a tragic waste of talent which cost the public millions of pounds. NHS managers in England have warned that the health service is struggling to cope with the number of people needing treatment because of alcohol. The NHS Confederation puts the cost of treating alcohol problems in England at nearly £3 billion. That's more than double that spent in 2001. Joe Farrington-Douglas is from the Confederation.
Because we've seen quite a rapid rise in alcohol-related health problems, the NHS is possibly lagging a little bit behind, so we reckon about 90% of spending on alcohol-related health problems is in acute hospitals and in ambulances. We think that actually that could be better spent if there was more prevention and more early identification of alcohol problems.
And celebrations to welcome the new year have taken place across the UK. Tens of thousands of people watched huge firework displays in London, Edinburgh and Cardiff. The weather forecast: wintry showers are likely in northern and eastern Scotland and northern England. Long spells of sunshine are expected everywhere else, but a few wintry showers may develop in western parts from midday. It'll be a very cold day today. And that's the BBC News at 9 and next at 10.
88 to 91 FM. BBC Radio 2. Don't pour your love out on me, baby. If you do, then I think that maybe I'll just lay me down, cry for 100 years. Don't pour your love out on me, honey. Take my heart.
big white bird, gonna fly right out of here without a single word. But you know you'll break my heart when I watch you close that door, 'cause I know I won't see you anymore. Don't pour your love out on me, baby. If you do, then I think that maybe I'll just lay me down right for 100 years. Don't pour your love out on me, honey. Take my heart, my soul, my money, but don't leave me drowning in my tears. Haven't I been good to you? What about that brand new ring? Doesn't that mean love to you? Doesn't that mean anything? If I threw away my pride and I got down on my knees, would you make me beg you pretty please? Don't pour your love out on me, baby. If you do, then I think that maybe I'll just lay me down right for 100 years. Don't pour your love out on me, honey. Take my heart, my soul, my money, but don't leave me drowning in my tears. There's so much I wanna do. I've got love enough for two, but I'll never use a girl if I don't have you. Don't pour your love out on me, baby. If you do, then I think that maybe I'll just lay me down right for 100 years. Don't pour your love out on me, honey. Take my heart, my soul, my money, but don't leave me drowning in my tears. Don't pour your love out on me, baby. If you do, then I think that maybe I'll just lay me down right for 100 years. Don't pour your love out on me, baby. If you do, then I think that maybe
How come you don't come and PLP with me down at the meter no more? And how come you turn off the TV and hang that sign on the door when we call and we call? How come you say, hey, what can make a boy behave this way? Yeah. Well, he learned all of the lines now, and every time he don't stutter when he talks. It's true, it's true. He shows a quiet that's kind of cool and inspired sort of jazz when he walks. Well, this jacket in his old blue jeans. Hey, if this ain't healthy, it is some kind of clean. That means Chucky's in love. Chucky's in love. Love, love, love. Chucky's in love. Chucky's in love. I don't believe what you're saying to me. This is something I've got to see. Is he here? I look in the pool hall. Well, is he here? I look in the drugstore. Is he here? No, he don't come here no more. Well, I tell you what, I saw him. He was sitting behind us down at the Pentateuch, and whatever it is that he's got up his sleeve, well, I hope it isn't contagious. What's her name? Is that her there? Oh Christ, I think he's even combed his hair. And is that her? Well, then what's her name? Oh, it's never gonna be the same. That's
A very good morning to you. First day of January, a new year and a new decade. Johnnie Walker here on Radio 2. Reports coming in from around the country. Managed to open the bubbles last night without any cork injury accidents, but thank you for yesterday's warning. That's from Bob and Judy, regular listeners to the show. You mentioned the sun coming up. Just looked north out of my back bedroom window, and there's a beautiful misty full moon. That's Matt in Ruislip. And Alison Holiday said, my husband and I are sitting in our car watching the first sunrise of the new decade over the Mumbles in Swansea. It's freezing, but beautiful. And we got our love to keep us warm. Oh, and a good car heater. Byron and Alison there, admiring that amazing view in Swansea. And I was going to get up about midnight last night and then walk up Primrose Hill. We were lucky enough, my wife and I, to realise an ambition to get a little place in Primrose Hill, which is a lovely part of London, and it's got just this gorgeous kind of park, and from the top of the hill you can see almost all of London. You can see the London Eye, you can see Big Ben, you can see Canary Wharf and the towers there. Most fantastic view, and of course one of the advantages of the cold weather is there are clear skies. An amazing view there. Anyway, didn't make it, stayed in bed instead. Just a report in by text from Tiggy this morning, just been up on Primrose Hill, covered in champagne bottles. A SWAT team of 6 are there clearing it up, and lots of people on the hill to watch the sun come up over London and the moon go down directly opposite behind the hill. It's like seeing one year end and a new one start. Some absolutely fantastic view, and some watching have not been to bed yet.
Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of fears without crying. Now I want to understand. I have done all that I could to see the evil and the good without hiding. You must help me if you can. Doctor, my eyes, tell me what is wrong. Was I unwise to leave them open for so long? 'Cause I have wandered through this world, and as each moment has unfurled, I've been waiting to awaken from these dreams. People go just where they will. I never noticed them until I got this feeling that it's later than it seems. Doctor, my eyes, tell me what you see. I hear their cries. Just say if it's too late for me. Doctor, my eyes, they cannot see the sky. Is this the price for having learned how not to cry?
Now listen, Jeremy Vine having a day off, Patrick Kilty in with a special New Year's Day show, talking about resolutions. He's going to be asking at midday what you're promising to change for the better now the New Year's here. And then perhaps you plan, he says, to lose some weight, change career, start a family, travel more. Whatever your New Year's resolution, can you email it in to Patrick? Two ways of doing so, resolutions@bbc.co.uk, or you can fill in the special form on the Radio 2 website at bbc.co.uk/Radio 2. And then listen from midday till 2, Patrick Kilty's special show. Now we pause for thought with Charles King after this from Robinson.
We smoke cigarettes, we drink in the park. We always go out after it gets dark. We drink until 3. She's smiling at me with her red wine lips and a sweet French kiss. Yeah, I'm so happy I could almost cry. I don't want this feeling to fade. Oh no. Maybe this could be the first time. Maybe this could be the first time. Maybe this could be the first time. I felt love. We wake up at 10, feeling old and abused. She's making breakfast while I watch the news. She's making bacon and eggs, coffee for the head, and it tastes so good when you're warm in her bed. Yeah, I'm so happy I could almost cry. She makes the best eggs in the world. Oh yeah. The first time, maybe this could be the first time. Maybe this could be the first time. I felt love. I felt love. This feeling to fade. Oh no. Maybe this could be the first time. Maybe this could be the first time. Maybe this could be the first time. I felt love. I felt love. I felt love. And it felt good, yeah.
Very nice too. That's Robinson and First Time. Lieutenant Colonel Charles King is Editor-in-Chief at the Salvation Army's International HQ and a regular contributor to Radio 2's Pause for Thought. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Johnny.
What are you going to share with us today?
Well, for me, Johnny, the 1st of January is never a good day to start the new year. The 2nd of January would generally be better, or this year, the 4th. In other words, the day we all go back to work and everything gets going again. I think that's the day to make resolutions, turn over a new leaf, begin a new chapter. Not today, when half the world will be in bed until lunchtime, nursing a hangover, or clearing up after last night's party, or going off to the sales. January the 1st never really feels to me like the start of a new year. That'll only come when I go back to work and start writing 2010 on things, and then I'll know we're started again. And although not much might have changed, there's the chance that things might be different this time round. I'm an optimist. I love getting post. I like getting called into the boss. In the triumph of hope over experience, I always imagine something exciting might be about to happen. And that's how I view a new year. I don't allow myself to think about all the bad things that could happen. But nor do I set great store by the things already entered into my diary, because I remember that someone has said, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. In other words, we can make all the arrangements we like, but as John Lennon said, life is what happens when you're planning something else. And saying, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, doesn't mean he's a capricious God who deliberately makes it rain on someone's wedding day or causes someone to die on Christmas Eve. It means there's a divine plan for creation, which is being worked out from the beginning of time through to eternity, and we all have a place in it. We just have to trust God's timing. At least that's my reading of the Bible. Many people have it wrong about religion. They think that when they decide to believe in God, their life will be full of certainty. But the opposite is true. God fills our life with surprises. When we put our faith in God, the only certainty he gives us is the belief that he loves us and cares for us and wills the best for us. Now, because we are inclined to be mathematical and calculating, we look on uncertainty as a bad thing. But the Bible makes it clear that we won't truly understand the things of this world until we get to the next one. Now we see as through a glass darkly, says the Bible. Only when we see our Creator face to face will we see things clearly. So I enter 2010 not knowing what the future holds, but knowing who holds the future, and believing in a benevolent God who cares for individuals and who works on a time scale that's beyond my understanding, but is ultimately for my benefit. All I can say is it works for me.
All right. Thank you very much. And have a good day.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny.
And you're back in the International. Sounds like Thunderbirds. The International HQ.
Well, it's a bit like that.
On Monday.
Back on Monday, and then that's when the new year really starts, isn't it? Today's a funny old day, really. Yeah.
Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I heard was a song outside my window, and the traffic wrote the words. It came a-ringing up like Christmas bells, and wrapping up like pipes and drums. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day, and we'll wear it till the night comes. Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I saw was the sun through yellow curtains and a rainbow on my wall. The red, green and gold to welcome you, crimson crystal beads to beckon. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on a day. There's a sun show every second. Opens on a portrait of today, and the streets are paved with passers-by, and pigeons fly, and papers lie waiting to blow away. Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I knew, there was milk and toast and honey, and a bowl of oranges too, and the sun poured in like butterscotch and stuck to all my senses. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day, and we'll talk in present tenses. When the curtain closes and the rainbow runs away, I will bring you incense owls by night, by candlelight, by jewellight, if only you will stay. Pretty baby, won't you wake up? It's a Chelsea morning.
9:22 the time. Richard Allenson in at 9:30, and then at 12 noon, Patrick Kilty talking about resolutions. If you want to pass on yours to him to be discussed at midday, send an email to resolutions@bbc.co.uk. Could you say a big hello to my 6-year-old daughter Karis, who's lying in bed feeling very poorly? That's from Anwin. Karis, send your love. Get well soon. And thank you very much for all your New Year greetings by text and email. Great to hear from you. There's Lynn in Stevenage. Thanks for your thoughts. And from an old Clacton headlight flasher, happy days. She's at work all day. Happy New Year from the Sugarmans in Bread in their caravan in Tywin, do you pronounce it? Tywin, after a great party given by the management of Bethan and Lindsay Parry. Flipping cold here, Johnny, I bet. Maggie and Fred, wishing Happy New Year. They're 20 years together. And Leslie in North Dorset, Happy New Year to you. And likewise to Tracy, Ralph, Amy and Ben from Tavistock in Devon. And I guess they've just heard out there in the cosmos, Jonathan Kainer's broadcast this morning. They've decided to respond. From outer space, we're receiving a message. My, it's from Planet Love. Message to Planet Earth from Planet Love, thanks to some help from the Dylans.